Welcome back to the program, folks. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. My name's Joe Anderson. I'm a certified financial planner with Alan Clopine. He's a CPA. Thanks for tuning in each and every Saturday. We have Mary Beth Franklin on the line. Mary Beth, thank you so much for joining us today. She's the biggest expert in Social Security planning, so I thought we need to get her on the program right now, Alan. Yeah. So, Mary Beth, thanks so much for joining us again.
Oh, I'm happy to be here. Thanks.
Well, let's kind of dive in. A lot of things to consider when people are approaching retirement age. Social Security now is probably more important and in people's lives than maybe ever before because of the stock market crash, low interest rates. People need a fixed income. But there's so many different combinations. How do we sort through all this mess?
First of all, people need to know their options. In the old days, it was really simple. As soon as you were 62, you grabbed the benefit and you were happy about it. But now, particularly with so many people saying they plan to work beyond age 62, for most people, it doesn't make sense to claim your Social Security benefits early because not only will they be reduced, but if you continue to work, you're going to give some benefits back. Now, they're not gone forever. They're deferred. But why accept temporarily reduced benefits and give up your options to really use some creative claiming strategies that could mean a lot more money in the long run?
What are some of the, I guess for our listeners, what should people really consider when they're claiming? Because if they do this right, they can add, 100, 150, in some cases, maybe a couple $100,000 of added benefit over their lifetime.
Yes, it's massive. The first thing is, for married couples, they should make their decision as an economic unit. What strategies will best suit their household rather than looking at it as two individual decisions. If you're divorced and your marriage had lasted at least 10 years, you are going to be entitled to the same benefits as if you were still married. And if you are a survivor, you may be entitled to survivor benefits worth up to 100% of what the deceased worker was entitled to. So these are really valuable benefits. It's not just a retirement benefit. It's a survivor benefit, so in that sense it's like life insurance. And that can apply to not just a surviving spouse, but to minor children as well.
You've called age 66 or full retirement age the magic age. What do you mean by that?
It's the magic age for three reasons. One, it's the age when you can collect Social Security benefits and continue to work without sacrificing any benefits to the earnings cap. It's also the age where you get your full estimated benefit. And most importantly, if you want to engage in creative claiming strategies, and there's basically two, one is called file and suspend, and the other is called filing a restricted claim for spousal benefits only, you must wait till your full retirement age, in this case 66, to do so. And then we can discuss what these claiming strategies do.
Yeah, go ahead. Why don't you go over some examples? Because I think a lot of our listeners are married and they really don't know what some of these strategies are.
Right. Well, the first one is called file and suspend. Again, you must be full retirement age, which right now, for anyone who was born from 1943 through 1954, your full retirement age is 66. If you were born after that, your full retirement age is higher. But let's say you're 66 years old, you could say to Social Security, I want to file and suspend my benefits. That means I'm opening my record, my Social Security record, and I'm triggering benefits for my spouse, if my spouse is entitled to benefits, but my own benefits keep growing. Now, this is where it's so valuable. Between 66 and up until age 70, if you postpone collecting your Social Security benefits, they are going to earn 8% per year up until age 70. That means if your normal full retirement age is 66 and you wait till 70 to collect, your benefit's going to be worth 132% of your normal retirement age benefit. But in the meantime, if you file and suspend, it can trigger a benefit for your spouse. Now, a spousal benefit is worth up to 50% of the worker's benefit, and that assumes the spouse collects it at full retirement age or later. They can collect it earlier, as early as age 62, but the amount's going to be reduced.
That spousal benefit, let's say if I push my benefit out to age 70 and then my spouse collects the spousal benefit, is it on my age 70 benefit or would it be at my full retirement age?
It's going to be on your full retirement age benefit. Let's put some numbers to this. Let's assume you're entitled to $1,000 a month as a worker at your full retirement age. Then your spouse's benefit is the maximum amount is half of that, which would be $500 a month. So you might say, well, what's the point of delaying to get a bigger benefit? It's because most married couples, their main goal should be how to maximize the survivor benefit. So in this case, the worker whose full retirement age benefit is 66, he waits until 70 to collect. It's now worth $1,320 a month, 32% increase. And if he dies first, his surviving spouse is going to be entitled to 100% of what he got during his lifetime or was entitled to at time of death. So by maximizing the retirement benefit for the higher earning spouse, you're also locking in the largest survivor benefit. When one spouse dies, the smaller of the two benefits go away and the larger benefit survives. So this is a great strategy for married couples.
Well, talk a little bit about like a widow or widower benefit, and they can collect that at age 60.
A survivor benefit, which applies to either a widow or a widower, is available as early as age 60. But like other Social Security claiming rules, if you claim at the earliest point, the amount is reduced. If my full retirement age is 66 and my husband has died, if I wait till 66 to claim, I get 100% of what he was entitled to when he died. I can collect as early as age 60, but the amount's going to be reduced. It's going to be 71.5% of that full retirement age benefit. The other thing that's very important to know, with so many women working these days, they're often entitled to their own retirement benefit, and if they become widowed, they're entitled to a survivor benefit. You can't collect both at the same time, but you can collect one first and switch to the other later if that would result in a bigger benefit. And the decision of which to take first really depends on which benefit is bigger. Let me give you two examples, and this goes back to my sister-in-law. My brother died a few years ago. When she turned age 62, she said to me, which benefit should I collect? I have a retirement benefit, and I have a survivor benefit, and the survivor benefit is bigger. And I said, well, if I were you, I would collect your retirement benefit as early as you can at 62. It's going to be reduced, but don't worry about that. You'll collect that for 4 years. And then at your full retirement age of 66, you can switch to your survivor benefit. And here's the amazing thing. Even though her retirement benefit was permanently reduced because she collected it early, retirement benefits and survivor benefits are two different pots of money. And this allows her to switch to the survivor benefit at her full retirement age of 66. And because she's full retirement age, it will not be reduced. Even though her retirement benefit was reduced for collecting early, she still gets a full survivor benefit as long as she waits to her full retirement age to collect.
We're talking to Mary Beth Franklin. Don't go anywhere. We got a lot more to discuss. Man, this stuff gets confusing. It's all get out. I mean, there's 10,000 different rules, it seems like. So you want to make sure that you sit down with someone to map it out for you. What we're giving away today is a free retirement income planner. So we can look at your overall situation, your Social Security strategies to conquer your overall retirement fears.
Is it a master planner?
Yeah, it is a master planner as well.
All right.
888-994-6257. That's 888-994-6257. If you need help with your Social Security benefit strategies, if you're looking at how that encompasses with your retirement income from other sources, such as maybe real estate pensions, IRAs, or 401ks, call the number right now, 888-994-6257. It's free of charge. When we get back, we got more strategies from Mary Beth Franklin. So the show's called Your Money, Your Wealth, right here on AM 760 KFMB. Hey, welcome back to the program. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth. I'm Joey Anderson. I'm with Big Al Clopine, and we got Mary Beth Franklin on the line. We're talking Social Security strategies. Mary Beth, you just wrote a book, Maximizing Your Clients' Social Security Retirement Benefits, and that's based on advisors. Now you have another book coming out for the consumer. Tell our listeners where they can get a copy of this.
Well, it contains the same information for both advisors and consumers. But you can get a copy, regardless of the title, at investmentnews.com/MBF ebook. That's my initials, MBF ebook. And, it's worth the investment. It's basically $20, and it's probably the best $20 you'll ever spend, because knowing what your rights are to Social Security benefits before you try to claim benefits will serve you very well in the long run.
We're talking about different claiming strategies. You got a survivor benefit, you got the spousal benefit, you got collecting at age 60, 62, 66, 70. I mean, there's 3,000 different rules when it comes to Social Security?
There is actually more than 2,700 different rules from the operating manual for Social Security. I don't want to scare people. You don't need to know all of them. As I said in my ebook, it's 25 pages and pretty much everything you need to know. But it can be very complicated, and I do rely very heavily on the Social Security Administration press office that I have access to, that when I have a really tough issue, they come through for me. I really admire them. But the challenge for consumers is you don't have access like I do, and increasingly Social Security is pushing people to file for benefits online. Now, if you just want to file for benefits, clean, easy, online is the way to go, no problem. But if you want something a little more complicated, it pays to make an appointment and to go into your Social Security office. You can do that by going to their website, ssa.gov, and make an appointment. And that's important because that establishes a filing date for you. If, for example, you're going to claim benefits, in many cases you can go back to the day that you made the appointment online. So that's important. The other thing is to be forearmed is to be forewarned. Everybody should know what their employment history looks like. You can go to ssa.gov, set up your own personal Social Security account, and you're going to get access to your files just like you used to get in the mail. It's going to show you your entire earnings history, how much you've paid in Social Security taxes over your lifetime, how much you earned year after year, and what those estimated benefits will be for you at 62, at your full retirement age, and age 70. Really important information, and you'll want to review it from time to time to make sure it's accurate. For example, if you see a year or two where there's zero for FICA taxes, well, that could be a problem, and you want to make sure that's right. Unless, of course, you worked in a job that wasn't covered by those payroll taxes. For example, working for a state or local government, or in some states working for a public school system. If you don't pay payroll taxes, FICA taxes, you don't get benefits. These are really important rules to know.
Hey, speaking of that, can you touch on the Windfall elimination provision and how that works? I get so confused. So if I'm a school teacher, right, then I put into, we're here in California, into CalSTRS. I didn't put in a Social Security, but maybe I had my 40 quarters, but now I don't. How does all that work?
Okay, let's take it step by step. First of all, to be eligible for a Social Security benefit, you have to have a minimum number of years of earnings. It's essentially 10 years of earnings or 40 quarters makes you eligible for Social Security. But then the actual amount you receive is going to be based on your top 35 years of earnings, not your last 35, but your highest 35. And then beyond that, it's going to be based on your overall lifetime earnings. And the Social Security is very progressive. In other words, lower earning people are going to get a higher percentage replacement rate than higher earning people. Now let's assume you're a school teacher and you've worked 25 years in California where you did not pay FICA taxes, and at some point of your lifetime you worked at least 10 years in the Social Security system, so on paper you have a Social Security benefit. And when you pull up that personalized estimated benefit statement we just talked about, you're going to see, oh, look, I'm entitled to a Social Security retirement benefit. But that record doesn't know you worked for the state of California for 25 years and didn't pay taxes. On paper, you're going to look like a lifetime low earner. And in the old days, they would have paid you based on the FICA taxes you paid. But back in 1983, Congress reformed Social Security, and it said, you know what? People who worked in other jobs and didn't pay FICA taxes and get a government pension for work where they didn't pay these taxes really shouldn't get this higher reimbursement rate like low-income earners do. So we're going to fix it with something called the Windfall Elimination provision. It basically says if you're entitled to both a government or school teacher pension where you didn't pay FICA taxes and a Social Security retirement benefit, we're going to reduce that retirement benefit by up to half of the value of your non-covered pension. Now, this only applies to workers. Think Windfall Elimination Provision, WEP, and W for workers. This rule applies to workers only. But there's a separate rule that affects spouses and survivors. It's called the government pension offset. And in this case, if you have a pension from work where you did not pay FICA taxes and you think you're entitled to a Social Security spousal or survivor benefit, that Social Security benefit could be totally wiped out by that rule.
Man, you got all that, Al?
Your head exploding?
Yes.
Yeah, let's see. I think I'm still writing.
Oh, Mary Beth, I appreciate you taking some time. I know you're heading off to vacation.
I am. I'm leaving on vacation tomorrow for a week at the beach. Now, you people in California get to look at the beach all the time, but when we live inland, we don't.
What beach are you headed to?
Rehoboth Beach, Delaware, which is an easy 3-hour drive from my home outside of Washington, D.C.
Oh, very cool.
Very nice.
Well, enjoy your time off. I know you're a busy woman, and I appreciate you taking some time to educate our listeners on this complicated subject of Social Security. That was Mary.
A very important one. In fact, I just saw statistics the other day from the Social Security Administration that 2/3 of American retirees rely on Social Security for 50% or more of their retirement income. This is obviously a really important decision. Don't blow it.
That's from Mary Beth Franklin. Do not blow this. It could add, several $100,000 to the bottom line. It's huge. So when you look at all of this, you want to make sure that you sit down with someone and map it out so you don't make these mistakes. 888-994-6257. Call the number. You can get in for our free Master Plan of Retirement Income Strategies. Is that what it's called, Al?
Something like that. We need to write these terms down.
Oh, yeah. We hired a little coach, and so now
we got so many things we're
giving. This Master Income.
We got like 10 pages. We're trying to get this straight. 888-994-6257. That's the number to call if you want to get into our office and sit down just to map out your retirement. Let's just call it like that. Call it what it is. Yeah.
If you have some questions in your Social Security, most people do. It's a very important topic. And then how does that encompass with your IRAs and 401ks? How much tax are you going to pay on it? If you're still working, are you going to lose some? Do you want to maximize it for your spouse, the spousal benefits? There's a lot of things going on here. You want to make sure that you sit down with a competent professional to map it out for you. And we'll do that at no cost whatsoever. You just need to come into the office, 888-994-6257. That's 888-994-6257 or 888-99-GOALS, GOALS. We got to take a short break. Show's called Your Money, Your Wealth, right here on AM 760 KFMB.